And welcome back, everyone. We're finally back, finally here, and it's Pride Month. So we're celebrating the last few days of Pride Month with with our last episode in the June before we hit July, and it's con season all over again. I have less energy today because I'm really like under the weather. I'm feeling bad. Anyways, I'm the host, the one, the only, the notorious, the infamous, the most chaotic panelist in all of panelists and podcasters in all of Texas, and I'm coming to a con near you, the one, the only King Mexico, also known as Mr. Uppy, Captain Mexico, the Mexican, the Venusaur. Really cool. And joining me always is, well, actually, he's here filling in for Sonic and filling in for me today because I'm sick. Is the one, the only. He's the Wednesday night host, but he's substituting for. He's the second string on Monday. He's the backup. He is the diamond that does the Aston, the miner. Oh, he's not actually a miner. I meant miner like mining, like. You know what? That doesn't make any sense. You know what? Diamond Assassin. Yay, Diamond. Yay.
What's up, everybody?
Well, it sounds weird, like because miners are like people that mine in caves, and now, you know what? Doesn't make any sense. And joining us always is the former panelist of the year, award winner, suffering, who's back. You know, he went on hiatus first half of the year, and then out of the blue is like, "Hey, I'm alive."
You know what? Us panelists do that quite a bit. Cosplayers do it. Everyone that's in the convention space does it. Just go on hiatus randomly for personal or otherwise. So
It's true.
Yeah.
I went on hiatus last year. The podcast suffered. I know that for sure. We went on hiatus for 6 months because we went on hiatus for 3 months, came back for the Delta review, and then went on hiatus again for another 3 months. And we haven't taken a break since I want to say December, November.
Mm-hmm.
We're on episode 32 now of the year for this year, and normally when we hit this number of podcast episodes, we're done. But we're still going strong. I know the last couple of weeks we've missed one or two here and there, but that's because, to be honest with everybody, I have like a really terrible migraine, and it's been terrible the last couple of days to the point where I am miserable. I'm suffering a lot, and it's gotten to the point where my mother, who saw me suffering, she wants to take me to the hospital, and I might go. I made her a promise that I would go get checked tomorrow night for sure. If I don't get better, I took an Excedrin right now, and I do feel a little bit better. All the lights in my room are off. I dimmed down and it to make it worse. Both my monitors, my ultra wide monitors, died yesterday. They went bad, just like my brain is going bad.
Jesus.
best wishes in the chat for Goku, guys.
Yes.
Give your best wishes to him.
If you want to donate so I can get a monitor, I found one for like $50. These were 200 and like these were brand new. These are ultra wides. They were 1080p, but like I had these for work and they were amazing. But right now, it's just things are really rough. I've been sick for a while, and I may or may not go to the hospital. We're just gonna see. And then my sister got sick. She had to go to the hospital. It's just been really rough. So I'm gonna be a little less energy, a little less active this episode, but we still have a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about an anime convention that I've never fucking heard of. It's called Tokyo. Okay, you can't see me in the camera, but I'm doing the okay hand gesture.
Okay.
No, not that one. That's quotations.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. That there you go.
Okay.
Okay. Oh god, I'm gonna do that over
Okay.
my eye that hurts right now because of the
No,
migraine.
the amount of things driving through Oklahoma that have the okay puns in them is kind of cringeworthy. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Oklahoma. Oh, I was gonna say no. I was thinking of Ohio. I was gonna say Oklahoma's not real, but no, that's Ohio. It's a myth.
That's a
made up.
legend.
So that's something adults make to scare children, like the Boogeyman or Michael Jackson. Yeah, but you went. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the con. We're going to get Suffering's take on it. We're going to talk about Delta, which is now 2.5 weeks away. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner. It is the 17th of July. and it's also the weekend that's hosting the final game for the World Cup. So we're gonna see who's gonna make it to the World Cup.
Let's go.
Also, DreamCon is this month. Is this coming month? Anime Matsuri is this coming month. And people that don't give a shit and still support Anime Matsuri are going to that con this month.
Yeah.
Not to mention AX is next week as well. So
Is this month as well, and Sonic is going. He'll be doing a review of Anime Expo.
One last time.
Oh yeah, because we're focusing on our Japan trip next year because we want to go. We were supposed to go this year, but we don't want to go without Randy. Yeah, let's go. Let's do we have anything newsworthy before we get into the episode? Skinny wise, Supergirl came out. It was okay.
Yeah.
That's my
as long as we're not talking about foot juice again, like I think we're good.
The Steam prices for the Steam box is out. So
the
you didn't
hell
know
is that?
the Steam box from Steam, like the little cube, almost like the knockoff GameCube thing, but for Steam, it costs like $1,000.
Oh, you talking about the Steam machine?
Yeah, the Steam machine.
It's not out. That's just the price.
Well, that's what I meant. Like
The price is out. And Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, Grand Theft Auto 6 announced its price tag. It is starting at
like
$80.
Everyone like announced like new releases for games this week, right? Like there's so many updates on games coming out. I think it got to the point where like I randomly started getting summer sale notifications from my Steam because it was just like, well, all these new games are out, old games, let's put them on sale already.
Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Grand Theft Auto starting price is $80. That's what I don't know if you're aware of this part. If you buy the $80 version of the game, you do not get the full game.
You're basically locked from 4 stores.
There are certain parts of the game that are locked. It's not DLC. It's actual parts of the base game that are locked behind a paywall. A $20 paywall. And there is no disc. If you buy the case, if you buy the physical game, it's just a case with a code. You're literally in I know it's not that much more expensive than buying it digitally. You're just getting a free, paperweight, if you can even call it that, because it doesn't weigh much. But yeah, no, Grand Theft Auto has pissed off a lot of people. The $80 price tag, I'm not mad about. I knew it was going to be like it. I knew it was going to be around 100. But the fact that they are like, hey, if you want the full game, if you want, like, that's like going to McDonald's, that's like going to Whataburger and ordering a meal. Oh, we gave you the burger, but if you want the fries and the drink, I mean, I guess you could kind of do that. But either way, it sucks. It sucks and it's terrible. And I will not be buying Grand Theft Auto 6 at launch. I'm going to wait next Black Friday, 2027 Black Friday, when it goes down to like $50. That's my take.
I think like games in general have gotten so overly monetized, and like gaming culture has like been so normified that like this is where we're at now, where every little piece of a game is going to be sold separately now.
I think Capcom is doing much better at gaming, like, as far as like a value for your dollar, because most of their games are within the $60-$70 range, and they've been spitting out like good games, like Pragmata.
They're spitting out full
games.
No DLC is nothing else like that.
Pragmata, right? I think, is like $60, and it's an amazing game. Resident Evil is $70, but you get the full game, and it's a great game. There are only games that are like constant DLC or like Street Fighter, but that's neither here nor there. If you're thinking about buying Grand Theft Auto, let us know in the comment section below. And those of you watching, if you could do me a favor and give the video a thumbs up, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Right now, I'm just really, really suffering a lot, and I'm just trying not to talk too much, and I know I'm talking a lot. But yeah, let's talk about anime. Okay.
Okay.
Like, so Anime Oklahoma is a different convention, right? So if you don't know anything about the convention scene in Oklahoma, it is very small. It is very niche, and part of the reason that they have conventions in June in the first place, and this is, I talked to a few cosplayers from Oklahoma. that the idea is they want to be prep cons before AX. So there was a convention before the weekend before called Con, which is quite a bit smaller. It's in Norman, Oklahoma.
Hold on, real quick, just to kind
And
of.
there is this one.
Wait, real quick. You said something, and I want you to kind of explain it, because for everyone that's not, what is a prep con? Because you said they want to be prep cons before AX.
Yeah. So think about conventions that are situated right before a very major convention that everyone kind of gravitates towards. So whenever on the yearly schedule you see Anime Expo, Anime NYC, Anime Central, San Japan, Dragon Con, those weekends, you have conventions that strategically set themselves up, knowing that they're right before those cons to help not only cosplayers prepare their material, to help panelists prepare their material, to help anyone that's involved with conventions to kind of step up their game, do kind of dry runs for whatever they want to do. Because the Oklahoma community, it is micro tiny compared to the Texas and the Kansas community. NakaCon is the big convention in Kansas, and obviously we have several big conventions here in Texas, partially because of our connections to like the old anime industry. So Oklahoma is just kind of this quarter area that exists, and part of the reason I got interested in the market in the first place and why I was interested in this convention is because I know plenty of event managers that are really, really good in Texas that got their start with Oklahoma conventions, whether that be Anime Oklahoma, whether that be this convention, Tokyo OK, or some other convention that Oklahoma hosts. So I was like, all right, let me see what the scene is about. It's only a little bit of a drive away, and I can plan a kind of extended weekend itinerary around it because we're driving around. It is from Houston. For those of you who are native to the area, we are an 8 to 9 hour drive, so it is a little bit taxing. But there are plenty of things to do along the way, which we'll talk about.
And for those of you just joining us, if you could just give us a thumbs up on the video, that'd be great. And the reason why I'm off camera, because I have like a really terrible migraine, and it's actually like causing a lot of. It's really bad, guys. I spent at least like 2 hours just nonstop, just fucking suffering before the medication kicked in. And I've had this thing for a few days now, and it just won't go away. And I may or may not go to the hospital this week. We'll see. It's just right now I have all the lights off in my room, and I'm wearing sunglasses just so I can stare at the screen. You talk about the Oklahoma scene, and I'm going to be honest with you. I know a couple of I'm going to say bookers. I know that's a wrestling term, but I'm going to say bookers. People that book these shows, that run them, all these things. There are some really shitty bookers that both me and that we know a lot of people, and like there's a couple that have run a couple cons. There's one right now, and they ran okay. What was the one with fandom events? That's one of the ones I'm referring to.
That would be OkiCon. It was a New Year's convention. OkiCon.
I know it's some kind of stupid fucking name. Oki.
Yeah.
I know they ran one, and I didn't really hear much about it. I didn't hear anything at all, because the convention scene in Oklahoma it's definitely small, but it's almost like it's so small it's almost non-existent unless you go out like seeking these cons. You really never hear of like cons in Oklahoma. If Louisiana has a much more vibrant convention scene, whether it's anime or gaming or comic book, than Oklahoma. But Texas has one of the largest markets. I feel like sometimes we have the largest market just with how frequently we have conventions in the state.
Yeah, we're among like just state to state. We're actually the third largest because California and New York kind of always roll over us. But it's because we were the base for both Funimation and Sentai Filmworks, the two main adaptation studios in the US, is the reason why we have such a big presence, right? And so conventions have been here a lot longer. This is why A-Kon can claim it's the first convention, because it was really the first convention that did actually publicize itself as one.
They claimed they were the oldest, longest running consecutive. That was the catch. They're not the oldest, but they did use the word consecutive running because a lot of cons took breaks like a year or two, and I think that was the what is the word? Sorry, my fucking brain hurts and it's hard to think. Um, I think that's like like the little detail shit that they would use to. Sorry, guys, I cannot fucking think. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't like my
Like the
actually
details
my,
to like try to like get people to
that was the underlining
go.
detail. I guess is what I'm
Mhm.
trying to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? Suffering knows what exactly what I'm fucking
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. So it's essentially like they are marketing themselves in a way that they are, the con that keeps coming back, right? So therefore, you can trust that they'll be around. Which we knew how that worked out. Hopefully, they'll come back one day, but that one day is not this year. So, but I would necessarily say like when we look at like neighboring states, like for us in Texas, whether that be New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana, I would probably agree with you that Louisiana has a bit more of a robust con scene. The problem is every single Louisiana convention I've ever looked at has an absolutely dog shit panelist policy, right? And that's one reason why I'm not venturing personally into the Louisiana market, because I'm sitting here going like, I'm not really going to expand my reach, and I'm just dropping a whole bunch of money on going to Louisiana, which I've been to enough times. Like New Orleans is New Orleans. That doesn't change really. Versus Oklahoma is something interesting to see as someone who is a U.S. history teacher and nerd. Like I like seeing a lot of the stuff that is around there. So that's part of the reason, like, even though I knew it would be a smaller con, even though it's a 4-day con on the schedule, it would be quite niche. I would still say that compared to the New Mexico and Arkansas convention scenes, like this actually felt a lot more robust. This felt like people were coming out. I met a lot of people that I wouldn't normally run into from Kansas because they came down for this con.
Have you ever thought about doing Mexico?
If I could speak better Spanish, dog, I need you there. Like,
they'll give you a translator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe one day. It's just I think we need someone better than the current El Jefe we have.
I think there is a lot of I'm pretty sure there's probably a few like people from out of the state that also go to conventions there, specifically that only
The
speak English.
conventions in Mexico, based on just videos and pictures that I've seen, are a little bit more passionate because they're harder to come by over there.
And how
they're
passionate is Mexico in general as a country about its anime? Like that
they are. And what was it? I think a few years ago I saw a clip of the like the cosplay contest they held, and did not miss a beat. Every single like person that walked through, it was just energy.
Also, keep in mind that the anime convention market in Mexico is not as oversaturated as it is here, where everybody is so thin, widespread. Because we're so widespread, we run thin. You run thin on panelists, you run thin on volunteers, on cosplayers, on vendors. When you have so many conventions frequent, especially with now we have free events. We have CCS doing like an event every week. When you have stuff like that, it's impossible to be everywhere at once. And this year we've shit. It's harder to go to all these events. It's harder to get all the same panelists, and we've been like honestly, there's been a couple cons this year where we've gone, but we didn't do panels. We like Space Con, we paid. That was the first con I think in a long time where we paid. And just give me a second. Shit. Sorry. It's just with the market here. We've talked about this for years now. We said, and we called it. We said this happened once in the 2010s, early 2010s, when there was conventions every 2 to 3 weeks, and now a lot of those cons are gone. And now we have the average is a week and a half. Every week and a half. That's the average. There's an event. There's a con. There's some kind of thing going on. And with the market the way it is right now, the economy, with the cost of living, the cost of food, the cost of gas, the cost of everything, it's too much. Like, you know how much an apartment is near downtown Houston? It's like $2,000 to $3,000.
Yep.
There are houses that cost less than an apartment in downtown.
I believe it.
But yeah, no, the market in Mexico isn't like saturated. Like, they have fewer cons, and because they're so far apart, that gives you more time to prep, and that's why they're much more like vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but anime, you got to understand, anime in Mexico, it was cheaper to license anime than it was to license cartoons from the United States. So that's why, like, anime was a lot of anime debuted in Mexico, and as a matter of fact, Funimation got a lot of their anime from Mexico. And so that's why the market over there, people are passionate. People have parades. They had parades for Dragon Ball when Akira died. There was the rumors of the ceasefire between the cartels when he passed away. There's certain like animes there that are like beloved, and they're cherished. Like, they have ponchos for like Dragon Ball, One Piece,
Sailor Moon.
I was gonna say Chainsaw Man. I've never seen a Sailor Moon poncho, but I've seen Hello Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I tend to agree. Like, if you are a Spanish speaker, I think a convention in Mexico should be on your bucket list if you frequent conventions, just because how different the Mexican anime community is compared to the American anime community is just something to witness, right? Mm-hmm. Part of the reason we have so many Hispanic people in our space in the first place is they have a different relationship with anime compared to people that are American born.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that, you know, if you speak Spanish, like, always look out at conventions in other countries, because like the reason why so many conventions pop up in the United States in the first place is ultimately it is a business, and we live in a capitalistic society. In every other country that I've seen, a convention will pop up just for the love of the game, right? Like, they will legitimately say, I'm not even trying to make a profit here. I just wanted to throw this event. And I think there's like a clear difference between how American showrunners run versus how showrunners in other countries run. Mm-hmm. And that's one reason why, like, if you've heard anything about TwitchCon, for example, a lot of people prefer to go to the European TwitchCon as opposed to the American TwitchCon because of how differently it's treated.
I didn't even know they had a TwitchCon.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they do, or yeah, they did?
Yeah, they still do.
They still do.
Okay, because you said they did. That's past tense. Like, oh, not anymore.
Well, sometimes with TwitchCon has so much controversy, you don't know what's going to happen next. Like,
that's why I kind of meant it in a little bit of that way, because it's like sometimes they'll just cancel, just straight out, like, nope.
But do you know how many cons we have between now and September here in Texas alone? Well, not just in Texas, but because the reason why I'm saying not only in Texas, because Anime Expo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have DreamCon, Matsuri, Delta, Anime North Texas.
Even if you just say Texas, we have 4 straight weeks of continuous conventions, even if you're just traveling in Texas. So Anime Expo weekend, KawaCon is also happening that same weekend. Then immediately after that, we have DreamCon, then Delta, then Matsuri. So 4 straight weekends, right? And then we get a little bit of a reprieve July 31st weekend. But July 31st weekend is also 2 major national cons, which is trying to remember the names, Otakon and then MetroCon. Mm-hmm. So most people are going out to there. No one's flying into Texas for that. So,
right. Did you know QuakeCon and Ant are both on the same weekend?
Yes, I did. ECCHI Fiesta is also the same weekend.
They're close to each other. ECCHI Fiesta, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, ECCHI Fiesta, QuakeCon, and ANT are the same weekend. And then I think on Colossal Con weekend, we also have 3. There's Kamea-Con, there's Manga Marvels and Morsels, and there is Colossal. So, yeah.
It's a lot. Uh, it is a lot to, and then it doesn't help that there are several on the same weekends. It doesn't help that they're back to back to back to back, because these hotel rooms aren't fucking cheap. And then you go and then you spend like people spend like hundreds of dollars in the dealer's room,
Yep.
and it's I felt it though. I don't know what the numbers were for Comic Palooza this year, but I felt it. I felt that I felt like they had less people this year. Yeah, was it still packed? Yes, but I felt like it was less people.
Every year, people are spreading the word too.
Word about what? You can't just say that and not give context.
No, just spread the word that like there's a lot of people that like were disappointed the last year and stuff, and just like it's not worth. Shit. No, it's just like it's not worth going the 3 days, and even if you're gonna go on Saturday. And then
well, I think that's perspective, because like honestly, there were people that went to Comic Palooza that were miserable as fuck, but I went. suffering, and I went and I had fun. I only had one panel. No, I had two panels.
Yeah,
I had two panels, and I ended up co-hosting and hosting. I think we had three. I ended up helping with two of Geek Creds, and then I ended up participating with Zeros to Heroes, and then we had our own. So it was like 5 or 6 that I ended up being a part of. And so I had fun. I had a great time. But the con's not much to do. We walked around, and because we were a group, there's a lot of shenanigans. But if you're there by yourself and you don't have a friend, like a group, and you're only relying on your panels to keep busy, it wasn't shit. Nothing was easy to find there. Like, I didn't even know they had a gaming room. I just thought they didn't have a gaming room this year, but it turns out I was way in the back with no signage. Yeah. If you find it, you find it. Fuck you, pretty much.
And then next to the gaming room was a haunted house.
No, that wasn't the gaming room. No. You're thinking
of the other one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not considered a gaming room. That's just an arcade. That's just a shitty arcade area. They had fucking that ball game where you rolled the ball up and
the skee ball,
whatever. That's stupid. Unless I'm winning fucking tickets and prizes, that shit was stupid. Why is this here? Where are the fucking prizes? Okay, I'm trying not to get passionate, because if I get passionate, my headache flares.
Come back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of conventions are now just propping themselves up to be conventions and not provide anything special or give anything unique. And sad to say, that's like becoming more and more of the norm, where it's just you have to go out and find the thing where you're going to get like a cool experience, versus if you just go to a convention that's listed on the schedule, you probably will not get that unless you've heard really, really good things about it. Like you mentioned Comic Palooza, like All-Con is definitely not my vibe either, because I'm more like in the J culture, J anime space than other things. But like, everyone has different things that they look for in conventions, right? So I think having so much choice, there is the benefit of there always be something for everybody. It's just a matter of, like you said, having them stacked up on the same weekend just feels like we're doing a disservice to, how robust this community can actually be. When, especially like when I'm seeing on the schedule, especially like in the month of June, I drove all the way to freaking Oklahoma to go to a convention somewhere in June because nothing else is going on in June besides Comic Palooza at the beginning. So, I mean, like, maybe we could space out the schedule regionally a little bit better if, con chairs are willing to work with each other, like, and actually tell their owners, being like, hey, maybe we don't want to step on each other's toes. Like,
I think it has a lot to do with everybody wanting to be during the summer. School, nobody's at school. Everybody's free to go and spend money, and like versus during the year where it's a little bit more relaxed. But even this year, there were a lot of cons, and a lot of them were the same weekend. Anime Tyler and Anime Dallas were the same weekend.
Creators After Dark and
were the same weekend.
Yeah, and those are during the school year. So what's the excuse for June being empty in Texas?
Well,
right?
Creators After Dark is a little bit more. I don't want to say I don't give a fuck because I want to work with them and okay, I'm trying to run everybody's karaoke, so I'm like, yay, Creators After Dark,
Oh,
yay, we like you. Yeah, I'm not kissing their ass. Fuck that. Creators After Dark was more of an influencer OnlyFans con. That's where people went and filmed like met content creators, and even then, the content creators were fucking assholes for the most part.
Because cloud chasing and high and mighty.
Well, yeah, that and the controversies between the room party and the bottles being thrown off the balcony and people almost getting hurt.
Yep.
But you would figure if the idea is we want to be in the summer because we get potentially more foot traffic because just that's how summer works, is that there would be a little more going on in June, right? But it's just everything is stacked up in July and August.
No, like the point I was getting to with them is I get why they're during the year because they're only adults and the likelihood of getting the adults to show up because the summer makes sense for like Anime Matsuri and Delta and DreamCon because they're all ages cons. And so if you want to get like kids there, which by the way, I have videos of DreamCon. I've not seen one child at these damn at DreamCon, which I do want to go to. I do love DreamCon. I do want to go, but I can't afford it.
Yeah, those passes are criminal. like the pass prices are criminal at DreamCon.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, what's the, why can't they be spread out throughout the year? Because I feel like there's nothing really in February except Ushicon, and they're like the beginning. There's nothing really in January except IkiCon. April only has Anime Tyler and Anime Dallas, which, by the way, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I heard that they might have different dates next year. I'm not 100% on that.
They should. But based on what we are told, they should.
Right. I can right now I can't remember. Just brain hurts.
We also cannot confirm
nor deny. Because if we deny it, that means that it's confirmation that it's fake and there might be something else. Like you're supposed to neither confirm nor deny rumors. I can't confirm, I can't deny it either. Like I can just say is that it's open to interpretation. You believe let your imagination run wild. Plus, that's not just anime cons, bro. We have all these goddamn fucking furry cons where people go and they dress like fucking wolves and shit and then stink up the fucking place.
And then the show cons, the trade show cons.
Do furry shit on the floor at the con? Do you think that's a thing where they just shit themselves or shit the floor? Or do they go to the bathroom? Do they go to the bathroom dressed like a fucking grimace?
I mean, I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Aren't you? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I know a few people that think Frolicon is like literally the highlight of the year, and I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like,
yeah, I just fuck. I wouldn't go to a fucking furry con. I think I pissed somebody off too. No, but we're okay. So, anime Tokyo. So it was called Tokyo.
Okay.
So that's okay. See, when I googled it, fucking Google's like Tokyo, Japan. No, bitch, Oklahoma. And they're like, who? And I got like some info about them. I was able to find a logo for the thumbnail. That's why I asked you earlier, like, hey, and by the way, sorry about not getting back to you on Discord. I've had the headache all weekend.
Yeah, dude, all good.
Like it only went away to go watch Supergirl because I took Kiddo to go watch Supergirl.
So one reason I took a chance on this con, like for Oklahoma, not only just because like I think it's generally a good idea to have a kind of like pre-con before AX, like to get people in the rhythm of it. And I think like Texas could take a step from this, but also I noticed this convention was run by a nonprofit, which is the Oklahoma Society for Culture Appreciation, which is not just Japanese culture. It's all different types of cultures. They do all these types of cultural events in Oklahoma. So I was like, okay, what better way to kind of dip my toes into the Oklahoma con scene than doing it with a nonprofit rather than like a con chair or a con owner that may or may not be scummy, because we've had too much experience with that in the past. And I think that's like also a fundamental issue, is you always have to watch who you support, especially when you take a leap of faith. And so because it was a nonprofit, I felt a little more comfortable about it. And also because when it showed up on my radar, it showed up as a 4-day schedule. Now it's 4-day in the same way that any other 4-day convention around here is that they have like one thing going on Thursday and they have badge pickup, and that's about it. But they have 3 pretty full days of programming, I would say. When I say pretty full, I mean that things were spaced out quite generously at times. And we'll talk about the scheduling in a little bit, but like it was a full convention, but it is a 4-day convention that is about the size of Delta, right? The Marriott that it was at, that hotel was about the same size as the Marriott West Chase. So you can imagine like kind of the scale. They had 2 floors that if you kind of put them together, I guarantee you the square footage would be similar to the left side and the right side of the hotel at the West Chase. So it was set up in a way that I think if we were to get, our good friend Sarah at Delta to set up in that convention, she would probably have laid it out in a very similar way. And so as far as the layout of the con, there was 4 panel rooms, 1 demo room, and then kind of like some alternative showrooms. Like there's like ways these spaces can be optimized a lot better, because the both of them are looking at the schedule right now. There's a lot of rooms, but there's not a lot going on because there's a lot of rooms closed on here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. I was like, what are the closed rooms?
Yeah, it's just for turnaround and for setup time. That's all it really is. You don't need an hour or even a full 30 minutes to be able to turn around different panels or different events. You'll see on some places on the schedule, they have even the main events room is closed for like 2-3 hours at a time.
Yeah.
Because there just wasn't a lot of programming to fill, it feels like. And if you look at some of the actual panels that they scheduled, it didn't actually feel like there was a whole lot going on. Like, I'm sure all of these panel ideas you've heard of before. Like it literally feels like a lot of the same stuff is happening. So there wasn't anything interesting or unique. I think part of the reason I got such a good turnout at my panels was because of the fact that if you see my title on a schedule, whether or not my name is actually on there, you'll sort of recognize that's something different, right? That's part of the reason I market my panels in that way, versus this is how I stand out in a crowd like this, right? And this is more of what I think of as like typically what people are trying to do at conventions, because I would say there was a lack of cosplay panels, if anything. And all of the cosplay panels were stuck in the smallest panel room, which was like limited to like 25 people, I think. So there was a lot of game show vibes. Anyone that is a regular watcher of the show knows how I feel about game shows. But
Yeah.
there was definitely a lot of community as well. I think the biggest thing that I recognized from this convention is that because Oklahoma is so small, it kind of felt like going back in time a few years. Well, I want to say more than a few years, over a decade in Texas, honestly, to when conventions felt simpler and it felt like you could make conversations with people, and like people were actually like down to talk and things weren't so closed off and clicky and stuff. Which is something I really enjoyed about the con. I think like the convention staff as well as the convention environment does an absolutely amazing job of like making sure that this feels like the con of yesteryears. And I think that's what made this con pretty cool. There is a pretty big complaint I had, which I mentioned on the Discord, but I just want you guys to kind of chime in on what I've said so far. So I feel like I've been talking too long.
No, it's fine. I'm actually struggling a little bit right now. I'm sorry.
We're mostly just taking in everything that you're telling us because you're the only one out of everybody who went.
No, I know how you feel about game shows. Okay, so that's the last part before the throbbing kicked in, and I'm sorry. The rest of it's kind of a blur. I do agree with you with the game shows. I know you I don't know if you're exactly like me. I have like such a fucking distaste for game shows. Not that I hate game shows. Oh, I do hate game shows.
Yeah, you do.
And which is odd because I'm hosting my first game show at Delta, and we're gonna see how that goes. But it's called To Be or Not to Be. Pretty much, you're gonna have to guess if these shitty movie titles are real movies on Tubi or not. Like uh, Tactical Clown, or like SEAL Team 666, Santa
Mhm.
Jaws, Rubber, which is about a sentient tire that has telekinesis that can blow people up. It's a real fucking movie. I just hate fucking game shows. I think too many cons have way too many game shows, and it just
It's
the
looking like a
last.
lot of them are just relying on that specifically.
It's
Than
because
everything
okay.
else.
The reason why I hate game shows, and this goes back to what Suffering said earlier. Too many people are playing it safe.
Yeah.
It's too much rinse and repeat. And game shows are exactly that. They're rinse and repeat. What made the Super Cosplay dating game show successful? It was different. Yes, it followed the format of a cosplay dating game, but we changed it up. Instead of picking one contestant, you pick two and they would have a battle. It would go from twerk offs to strip teases to moaning battles to like arm wrestling competitions, whatever. Like you would literally pick what kind of contest they would have, and they both had to consent.
Hmm.
Some guy stripped down all the way to his boxers. Like, all right, we don't want to see hot dog. All right, that's enough. And it was innovative. We try to be different, and we try to be different with our panels, right? And I think that's where a lot of the magic is gone. The innovation is gone. Not completely, but a lot of it is people like this. This works. It's a formula that works, and that's great. If it works, like why fix something that's not broken? But if you don't try to be different or evolve, if you don't try to better yourself, then it becomes tiresome. People get sick of panels.
Hmm.
And that's why some cons are like, oh, panels don't draw anymore. They don't do as well as they used to. That's because when you do the same bullshit over and over and over, it's like, oh, are you going to attend any panels this con? No, fuck the panels. It's always the same crap every year. And me and Suffering are very completely different styles. He has his own style. I have my own. I'm more improv and stand up. He's educational, which I actually do appreciate because I've learned something at his panels. Asian Alex is educational as well, but his is more lecture rather than yours isn't lecture. I've been to yours, and even though you're explaining stuff to people, it's not in the format of a lecture where you're like a school teacher. His is very school teacher-ish.
I like to describe mine as I am trying to crack jokes while I'm like putting ideas out there that are the most bare bones simple thing that we could make anime references to and identify with what we know in fandom, right?
Uh-huh.
And I try to like use the content to make connections. I would say that's the difference between me and someone who runs a traditional like lecture style panel. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as your visual aids are on point, right? Like, and when your visual aids are on point,
you need to help. I feel like we need to get together before Delta if you can. I don't know what your schedule is or what your availability is, but I would really love for you to get with Asian to help him with his panel because his slides have a lot of words on them.
Yeah, it's like a text wall, basically.
It's like paragraphs of words on there. And look, when I worked in the Medicare business as a trainer, as a teacher, I had to be trained. Like we got trained to do presentations and PowerPoints and all that. Not having a lot of words and visual aids on the image helps actually grab more attention than having it full of you're supposed to. You can have a script with all the text that you read off of, but it's not a good idea to have it on the screen. Because for the most part, most people can't read. Like I looked at it, we had a 32-inch TV, and with the amount of text that he had, you couldn't read most of it.
Yeah, visually, I don't struggle with text specifically because like I prioritize accessibility for people that are like somewhat nearsighted or somewhat blind, mainly because most of my life I've been nearsighted. So if my prescription is like half a point off that makes the difference between me being able to understand what's on the slide and me being able to not be able to. So that's one reason I prioritize words. The one thing I struggle with, and I have a bad habit of doing this just because I want to condense my information and keep everything like clean, is sometimes I won't have a slide that's full panning on a video whenever I'm playing a video. So sometimes whenever the convention gives me a smaller screen or a smaller background, like I can see people in the back squinting to look at the video or the anime clip that I'm playing. But I only struggle with my videos. My words, no one's ever complained to me about legibility. So
he definitely needs some pointers. I can't really help him all the way because the style that he wants to do is not the style that I do, which, by the way, I am doing for one of my panels, the Pokemon panel. I do the style you do. I struggled a little bit with it at a Comic Palooza because it was the first time that I ever done that style of panel. I did throw in my jokes here and there. Oh yeah, nothing screams love for Pokemon like throwing a baseball at the back of their head and when it says critical. Because that's what Pokeballs are, whether you guys realize it or not. They're big metal blocks. You might as well go and throw a baseball at random squirrel.
If you have ever played Pokemon Go and you have nailed an excellent throw, you'll understand what a critical point actually looks like. Out of Pokemon's head. Like,
it's worse in Arceus Legends. Because if you hit them in the back of the head, if you sneak up behind them and hit them in the back of the head, it says critical.
No, the worst thing is the hitboxes on Pokemon Go for some like humanoid shape Pokemon, like a Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan or whatever. It'll zoom in right on their crotch. So it's like, yeah, you know what they're going for. Like,
hit him in the balls. It worked. Super effective. He's down. You know what's? I will say this about Pokemon before we move on. They did fix something that's bothered the shit out of me for years. Why can't you capture them when they've fainted? Like they're
just to make it harder. Like that's literally just
they fixed that in Legends ZA. Yeah, you can capture them after you've knocked them out, but only for like a few seconds. I think they die. That's what it is. Because
they like unspawn or whatever. Like
like that's just a fancy way of saying dead. One is dead,
gone.
But they fixed it in ZA. If you knock them out, you can still capture them. So it's like, oh, this makes it a whole lot easier. You can't fight back. Going with I know I get it though. Like, I think that's the reason. Me and you have talked about it several times, and we have tried to branch out markets. Not every con is a good con to work with. Space Con, I don't ever see myself working with them. Will I go back? I don't know. It just depends on who their guests are. But that's just a flea market. That's a trade show con. I know I keep calling them trade shows. And I know some people are like, well, they're still cons. Yeah, they're still cons, but it's a trade show rather than a traditional convention. Because traditional conventions have nightlives, dances, adult panels. Like trade shows are just the market, which is the dealer's room, and then the autograph session and maybe a panel. But even then, the panel's only for celebrities.
Yeah, and if this this will kind of show you for this particular convention how much they were kind of fiending for like better than average content, how much things were closed off. So one of the game show runners that I do respect, who runs a bunch of Pokemon game shows, is also a cosplayer. Her name is Cosmic Space Princess. She was running 2 panels on Saturday because she was only going to be there on Saturday. She ran.
It's not the Gardevoir cosplayer, is it?
No, it's a different person. Okay. So she ran Who's That Pokemon at 3:00 on Saturday, went to the cosplay contest at 5:30 on Saturday. Then immediately after the cosplay contest, there was a Pokemon After Dark by another panelist. And then she ran Pokemon Pictionary After Dark. And that was all happening within the course of the same day. So clearly there's like not a variety of content going on at this convention, right? And I think that's the biggest complaint I had, is just the amount of stuff that could be filled, because normally when I talk to programming directors in Texas, they normally get an abundance of panel applications, and they have a tough time picking who needs to go where, right?
Right.
because the fact that they get an abundance of applications. And usually they get a bunch of crap applications that they can immediately filter out. But then the process gets a little more competitive to where it's just like, okay, about 15 to 20% of the panels you expected to be there aren't there just because of how competitive Texas gets sometimes. Here, it feels like, okay, we're going to try to give anyone that applies like 2 to 3 panels and do whatever they need to do. And then after that, we'll just see how we can fill in. And then a lot of space is just empty here. And I think part of that is due to their panelist badge policy. And this is like kind of the bad news I have about Tokyo OK. So if you're considering paneling at Tokyo OK, this is probably not the convention I would recommend, because their panelist policy is that if you have paneled the previous year, then you get a comped badge for the next year. This is, by the way, nowhere on their site. This is not disclosed whatsoever. And the normal expectations for me as a Texas panelist is that, okay, if I'm going to a smaller convention, I'm usually going to get at least a discount code or my badge comped entirely whenever I do my panelist check-in. Here, it was like, oh, you get next year's for free. And I was like, Tulsa's like 9 hours away from me, bro. Like,
that's really shitty, honestly, because
and keep in mind, like, this convention, like, everything looks clean. Like, you look at the badges, like, full laminate. They're actually plastic. We have a paper badge epidemic in Texas right now, right? So everything that was going on at the convention itself was great. But, like, if they want to step up on their programming, and I feel like I have a hypothesis as to why their policy might be like this, but if they want to step up on their programming, there needs to be a more aggressive panelist policy, right? That says we want to bring in programming. Because that just feels like, okay, I showed up and I paid full price to be able to maybe get a perk next year. Just kind of feels weird.
Yeah, I can't work with something like that, honestly, because the free badge is like the big incentive for a lot. Like, especially if I go to a lot of cons and there are sometimes, and I know this is probably I'm outing myself on this one. If I go to a con by myself and I'm staying in somebody's hotel room, I will trade the badge. Like, hey, did you buy your badge? No. How much is it? $60? How much are you charging for your room? Like 60, 80, 100. So I'm like, hey, if I give you one of my badges, could I just pay you the rest? And like, that would be a fair trade since you're saving money on not buying one. And yeah, that's how sometimes I get to stay with some people. I will trade badges for room space, or I'll give these guys badges and they'll save the money and they'll put it towards other things. But I barter the extra badges sometimes. Obviously, I do, like Diamond and them, they do help me. They do help me carry stuff, carry like the karaoke stuff, do all kinds of stuff.
I've also done that barter as well. That's a fair trade, especially if you're running like several panels for a particular convention and they're giving you badges. It's just like, there's no reason not to do that. Now, if you're a panel runner and like, say, for example, you have a really aggressive badge policy, like, oh, we're going to give you 3 badges for hosting a 1-hour panel, then I feel like that's taking advantage of the con a little bit. But like, usually between me and Goku, it's usually whenever we're doing that, we're bartering our badges away. It's usually like we're doing 4 or 5 panels for a convention, right? So
we got for AllCon, we got 12 free badges.
I think another difference between y'all doing the way they are handling badges versus other people is that there are some people that will ask for a bunch of badges and then later on say, you know what, this actually kind of sucks, and just leave.
I don't think I've ever come across that. Like I was saying, for AllCon, we got 12 badges for free, but we had 18 panels. I know, like, not really. I know there are panelists. There are people that have submitted for panels that will not host their panels. They'll just show up, get the free badge, and say, fuck this place. I don't think I've ever run into anybody except maybe like one person.
I've run into a few people that have done that. Yeah.
Like, well, no, not the ghosting thing. I meant the thing that he mentioned where they're like, they show up, they get 3 badges. Like, oh, fuck this. I'm not, like, because you're told way in advance. You're told way in advance how many badges you're going to get. and you can negotiate with the con whether you need an extra badge. And some cons are lenient. They'll be like, okay, we can do maybe one extra badge or two, or we can give you a discount code. That's something you negotiate in advance as a panelist. But showing up and then getting 3 badges and saying this isn't enough, fuck this, that's, I don't think I've ever run on that. Like, if it's not enough badges for you and your crew, that's on you, because you were told a week's or a month in advance what your schedule was and how many you were getting. Like for Delta, we already know. We know what our schedule looks like. We know how many, badges we can buy, because Delta does a discount. They don't do the free badge, and that's on me to like plan ahead. Like, okay, who's going to get the discount code and who's not, and what kind of team am I bringing in? So that's mostly on the thing about being a panelist. There's a lot of planning ahead. Like, I'm already, I don't know. I still want to do Anime North. I think their submissions in tomorrow. I'm going to submit those tonight. I submitted 1. We're not going to talk about it yet. We'll talk about it in a future episode. If I know somebody on here, if you know, right? But there was a little bit of a controversy with one of our friends who is a panelist who has a lot of things to say. We're just not going to say who, what, when, where, why, but I will say this. We submitted one just to kind of test the waters, and it kind of confirmed the theory controversy that we are talking about, but we'll talk about that after the con. We'll talk about that after the con.
Yeah.
But
and so I think the reason why this particular panel policy exists, like Tokyo OK does this particular panel policy, is probably because they've had a history. A lot of people signing up to do a panel and then no showing. Like it feels like that. Like I got that energy from all of the con staff, that the reason why none of them were willing to just be accommodating, even though like I was coming from way, way far away, is because we'll be like, well, if we give you these free badges, we don't know if you're actually going to show up, right? Like it felt like there was a distrust for panelists that existed, even though they were appreciative that we're still putting on the programming. That okay, maybe until you've proven yourself, we don't really want to give you any perks type of deal.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should. A-Fest, I don't know if they still did this towards the end, but one year when I signed up to host panels for them the first time, I got a good number of panels with them, but we had to buy our badges, and then they wrote me a check at the end of the weekend.
So I paneled the last year of A-Fest. They just straight up comped. They gave you a unique code that you could check out with. So,
well, I feel like a lot of cons should adopt that policy they had before. Like, okay, hey, pay for your badge, do the panels. If you do your panels, we'll comp X amount of badges at the end of the weekend. Not necessarily a check. You can Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like, hey, pay for your badge, and if you show up and host it because you're a first timer, we'll comp you at the end of the weekend after you do the job, and next year we'll just comp you before, straight up. That's a policy
I feel like that
could have
make
adopted.
More sense.
That makes a lot more sense, because that's what A-Fest did. That's what Colossal does too. Like, well, not necessarily. Colossal's like, hey, if you bought your badge before we approved your shit, just show up and we'll comp you.
Yeah.
Like, if the con is afraid of taking a risk, make them buy it, show up, and then if you promise them 2 free badges but they bought 4, refund 2 of those badges.
And the only convention I've seen in our area that explicitly says if you bought your badge beforehand, we will not comp you for doing anything for us is Anime Frontier. That is the only convention that has that policy.
Right.
So
every other they will not comp you if they what?
So if you bought a badge, say for example for Anime Frontier 2026, and then you get like 5 panels or whatever, right? Then they will not comp you for any of those badges. But every other convention that we have does do that.
That's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Wait, did they say why? Like, oh, you bought them?
It literally just says on their website, we will not reimburse you for a badge. So, like,
Like so do they give out badges if you didn't buy it?
They will give out panelist badges.
Okay.
But it's basically like you have to find out if you got a panel there or you pay outdoor price.
So it's a gamble. It's pretty much you're taking a chance. And damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know, it's like that's kind of crap. That's really shitty. That's worse. That's worse than the okay thing. At least they're like, look, we don't know you, we don't trust you. I can kind of see where they're coming from with that. I know it sounds shitty, but I get it. Like, because there are a lot of people that will sign up for panels, are people that had a substitute for them because they got sick or didn't feel good or couldn't make it. You know, it is shitty. It hurts the brand. It hurts the individual. It hurts the con. I get it. I really do. And I want to be on Tokyo's side, but that Anime Frontier thing is just fucking stupid. Because you're literally, you want to be able to, like, okay, look, I'm going to pay for the badge. And if I get panels, just reimburse me, whatever. Okay, cool. Like, because sometimes you want to get the badges early. Like SpaceCon, we signed up for press and we never got a response from them. Nothing. Most cons would have sent us a denial. Approval or denial. Like a lot of people that were doing with their press didn't get shit from them. And like their press application was still up during the con. So it just goes to show you nobody's monitoring that shit. I think they need to change that fucking policy, honestly. I've never been to Anime Frontier. I've been thinking about going. I've been thinking about doing it, but it's one of those, it's early December and it's right after the Renaissance Festival. And I got to tell you, Renaissance Festival is I threw out my back this past year by doing uppies because somebody turned themselves into dead weight and they were plus size. And let me put it like this. I was giving uppies to an individual. They were definitely plus size. And I told them, okay, I'm going to lift your leg so I can carry. And as soon, like before I even got my arm under their leg to try to lift them, they dropped their whole body as dead weight. And I locked my knees and my legs and I held them. Because if they had hit the ground, they would have hit the asphalt, the road.
Yeah.
And they would have hurt themselves. So I was kind of stuck in I was stuck in that position. So I slowly picked them up, but I had to use my back because my legs were locked in position.
Jeez.
And they were pretty heavy. Like, not 600-pound plus heavy, but they were pretty heavy too. And I've lifted people their weight before, but if they don't become dead weight. I know it's hard to explain, but like the position we were in, it just sucked. And I was able to get them up. I lifted them and everything, but it fucked up my back. And I already have permanent nerve damage on my lower back from playing football in high school. Yeah, I played football, guys. I know I'm not a real nerd. I'm sorry. How dare
anyone that looks at your build, Goku, and says, oh, like he shouldn't have played a sport because he's not a nerd, then it would be like, bro, have you seen this dude? Like, come on, like you had to have played something. Like,
which is funny because I tried playing soccer, but you're not allowed to juggernaut people on the field.
Yeah. You're not allowed to tackle them.
You can slide tackle. No, I perfected the slide tackle. I did it at the YMCA, and I slid tackle. Like I would even slide tackle because it was co-ed, boys and girls on each team, and I would even do slide tackles on the girls. I'm like, they called me the card shark because I would come after you like Jaws, like. And plus, I played Yu-Gi-Oh. I was the only like person there that's benching like 350 and playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
The card shop is crazy.
No, card shark. I was like a shark on the field.
No, and the funny thing is like people before like this World Cup stuff is happening, right, would not have understand like how like you can't tackle people. It's like, what do you mean soccer is not like rugby? Like,
dude, I would have loved rugby. No, but soccer is so So it's such a great sport to play. It's very tiring. People don't realize like the amount of stamina and endurance you're gonna have for football. I know we call it soccer, but it's football. Uh, you talked about the badge policy, the panel policy. You sent me a link, and I'm gonna go ahead and what was the link for? By the way,
It's the schedule of the convention.
Okay, let me see if I can share this. I'm running on my. I don't have a monitor anymore, guys. I'm using my TV as a monitor, and my head it hurts a lot, and I'm just struggling big time.
So while Jesse has this up, you'll see on there that I had 3 panels all on Friday. Probably because I was the new guy. I would assume that's the reason I had them at the times that I did compared to the abundance of game shows that were happening on Saturday. But there were 3 panels I'm well known for: my K-pop versus J-pop panel, my polyamory panel, and then my swapping panel. And for those of you who are under the age of 18 watching this podcast, don't ever come into my swapping panel. I will kick you out. But as far as how the actual panels went, like the crowds were amazing, right? Like honestly, my audience was great. I had no complaints, no issues. Everyone was super respectful. Everyone
you got
was
a good turnout
participating. For the first 2 panels, I almost filled up both rooms. Like it was the same room. I almost filled it up both times. I didn't quite cap the room. Like there was still a couple empty seats, but there was seating for about, I think 48 I counted. And like at peak panel time, I think I had about 40 to 45.
Oh, wow.
Pretty close to capping both rooms. And then swapping was a little bit less for should be obvious reasons because not a lot of people are interested in it. It's more of a niche panel. But I still had great audience participation there. Like really the vibes of the Oklahoma community really came through. And you also notice it walking around the con as well, because you had a lot of people that were just amateur cosplaying, and you could tell they're amateur cosplaying. There was a lot of people that they put on their AX cosplay on Saturday, and they were like, let me make sure this goes over well. Let me make sure I can shoot with this. Let me make sure I'm going to enter the AX cosplay contest or show up to AX in this, right? Because there were some that were just amazing. Like even my wife was walking around, and she was just like, wow, some of these are really, really good. And I'm like, yeah, this is the weekend before AX. People are stepping up their game.
They're trying to like test everything out to see if they can, if it works or not.
Oh, hell no. Karaoke hosted by I'm not for long.
Not for long. Yeah.
Actually, that's kind of, okay, that's next day. That's why that says 10 a.m. Not for long. We'll see. I was gonna say there's a lot of room closed, room closed, doors open. What the hell?
There's just a lot of empty space here that can be used on more programming. That you don't need every single panel to have a minimum of 30 minutes turnaround time. You just don't. Right.
Okay, so I see one of your panels here.
All of them are on Friday, same room.
Your waifu is trash. That sounds like a Deacon panel or.
Yeah.
Well, one of his polyamory and anime, the good, the bad, and the dumpster fires. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I know Emoto works, the one that runs this waifu is trash panel. So when she came in after me, after I was done with my Q&A for polyamory, she was like, "You're in Oklahoma?" And I was like, "I just decided to come out."
Are you gonna go back
she's
next year?
Yeah. She's from DFW. I think there's a high likelihood, especially since now I do have a free badge. Right? I think there is a likelihood I go back.
Did you go by yourself?
Like, I went with my wife. Okay. So I had company, right? But it was also just the vibes of the con were great in the sense that I was a volunteer for Stand Japan from 2011 to about 2014. And it gave me similar vibes to that, where like everyone was willing to talk to one another. Everything didn't feel too cliquey. Everyone was just kind of hanging out. The same reasons why, like, you know, we love the social vibes of a con like an Anime Tyler or a Delta, right? This con also had going for it. That's part of the reason I did like this con. And then because this was the pre-AX con, like the weekend directly before AX, the cosplay contest was very well run. It was quite amazing to see some of the things that people were doing. because you could tell they were prepping for AX, like because they were AX level in the Oklahoma community. Might have been Kansas or Texas as well, but definitely like saw that game step up. And then like the all ages dance, that's the DDFT thing you're seeing at the end of Saturday. That wasn't too bad for an all ages dance either. Granted, we've spoke in depth about how we feel about all ages dances and why they don't kind of make sense. But I think they did it as well as they could have given what was there. Not going to talk too much about karaoke because you see the name and you already see all the problems with it, Goku. But
yeah, it's very fucking short.
Yeah.
I don't know who Martinez is, by the way, just so I don't know who they are.
Yeah, but it's just whenever you're running a queue like that and there you see the stuff that's going on during karaoke and there's not a whole lot of other stuff to do besides game shows, then it's like, okay, your queue gets asked.
Yeah, these are really weird. Like, look at this one. Cool things in old anime magazines. Anime bingo.
Yeah. So there was a lot of dry informational panels and a lot of game shows. Like that's what I found.
Really don't understand. Like I know you already explained like why the closed rooms are, but at this point, I feel like it makes sense to just get rid of that and just put each different panel.
These are in 30-minute increments though, so
yeah. So the 30-minute increments, I don't have a problem if that was every single panel, but there's clear places on the schedule you see an hour increment, 2 hour increment, 3 hour increment.
2.5 hours right here.
Well, they didn't want to cross anything with the cosplay show, which is kind of understandable, but at the same time, like there are panelists that don't mind going into the cosplay show.
Oh, I tell them, put me on during the cosplay show. I will still draw a crowd. Like you got me fucked up. Like, fuck the.
Like,
I mean,
look at Sycamore from 12:30 to 2 o'clock. That's all room closed, right?
32.
So that's an hour and a half of turnaround time for what? Like that's another place you can put a panel easily. So and then Magnolia like is empty half the time. Same with Maple. There was a lot of cancellations there, and on top of that, they built an empty time.
Look at this.
There was someone that had canceled prime time on Saturday. That's why you see a blank one.
What?
So
the Silver Oak. Damn, my headset is going fucking bad now.
No.
Silver Oak B is from 10 until 1. It's just like that. They could have put stuff there.
Yeah.
A lot of these panels, there are a lot of like.
It's just the times to me. It's just like it just seems off to me a little bit to like actually needing to fill time and whatnot.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that we as a group are going to start doing, and I don't know. I don't want to like. I was going to tell you, hey, let me go with you next year, but you went with your wife. I don't want to like.
He's not going to want to intrude. Basically,
no.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. No. The likelihood of her going next year because we've done all the touristy things that we wanted to do on the way, which I'm going to talk about after we finish the con review. The likelihood of her returning next year is probably pretty low, honestly, because she doesn't recreationally go to conventions with me. She just kind of shows up sometimes. But I planned the whole trip with her in mind as well, being like, okay, I know I'm going to Tulsa for 3 days. Let me make it worth your while so you come with me.
Yeah. Because I was going to be like, hey, let me come with you next year because I will go and do panels. And I know I'm not going to get
so most likely she won't be there next year. Most likely she won't be there.
Yeah, because I will bring the G5E brand there and I will be like, look, I'm going to submit 20 panels and you only have to give me like 4 if you want. And I'm going to tell them like, look, I'm going to submit panels for next year. And I'm going to like, look, I know I submitted a lot, but that's because I want to take up space. I am like legitimately the whole point of Geeks 5 Ever is to help. We're entertainers. That's what we do. We entertain. We're here to put asses in the seats. I don't want like if I have to buy my own badge, I'll just steal one of Suffering's.
I mean, honestly, at this point, if you're putting in panel work right for them, what I'm going to do is they're probably going to give me 2 badges based on the level of programming that they gave me last year because they gave me 4.5 hours worth, right? So based on that, I'm probably getting at least 2 badges, if not 2, in a discount code. So I'll just be like, okay, Jesse gets my second badge. He's running some programming for you guys. If you like his stuff, keep bringing him back, right? So like, and I'm happy to be able to do that. Like, even if I don't go, I will vouch for you in email saying give him my free badges because he will make your show better.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I don't feel like I feel like we can help make it a little bit more. We can add a little bit more variety because we are constantly trying to come up with brand new panels. Like one of the panels, and this is us going off topic for just 1 second, because sometimes what we do is for other conventions, we try to be innovative. We try to create brand new panels, right? And we would love to so one of the panels that we're making is called being a Latino anime fan. And it's like just about it's a panel about Latino culture, anime fandoms, and just being a person of color in this community. Because there's lots of panels about being a person of color, but I feel like the Latinos don't get a lot of representation in anything. Like we didn't even get representation in fucking Avengers Endgame. Nope. Not one fucking Mexican. 100 superheroes and not one fucking Mexican. And where was the Elote Man? Where was Nacho Libre?
Is it bad that the only thing that we got was Blue Beetle and that was in DC?
That was DC. No, we got Namor, but he showed up after the fact. He showed up all late like an actual Mexican. Like, shit, I missed a fight.
I mean, if you're Asian, all you get is the freaking wizard.
At least you got something. Right? Like we legit. They just know, like, goddamn, ain't no Mexicans in this fucking place. Like we would have taken Abuela with a chancla in that fight.
Like I think DC like has it good because partially like DC Universe spent so much time in their comics like talking about different superhero ideas. That's one reason why you have things like Blue Beetle, you have Static, you have like Hotspot, like from the Teen Titans and Justice League universe. Like there's so much representation of different types of people. Marvel lacks that because everything is very American centric in Marvel. So that's part of the reason like I'm more of a fan of like DC and Warner Brothers IPs is because like they tend to be more worldview-esque than Marvel is, I think.
No, yeah, I agree with you. But okay, actually you brought up Marvel because Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. Is he considered Hispanic, Latino? Reed Rich?
I don't think his character is.
No, his character's not Latino.
But the actor is. Come on, man. Just give us something.
There's something. It is something. I'll agree, right? But that's like saying because like the Red Ranger from Mystic Force is Muslim, like is a Muslim actor, means we have Muslim representation.
I mean, yeah, y'all do. Yeah, it counts.
Well, no, because like there's nothing about Nick from Mystic Force that makes him Muslim.
I think what he's trying to say is like more like that's what's just because he's that ethnicity doesn't mean that the show is also representation with.
No, I get where he's going with it. I understood him completely. I'm not completely touched in the head right now. But no, I mean, can we get something? Shit. I mean, I want to bring panels like that because we're always trying to like do different things. I like taking out of the box shit and trying to make it work. Now, do all of our new ideas work? No, they don't always work.
So one of my favorite panels that I'm doing at Delta actually is called Being the Wrong Type of Asian in the Anime Community. Because as you can tell from my face, I am not East Asian, so I'm not the type of Asian you would associate with anime.
They don't even consider I don't mean to interrupt, but like because you aren't East Asian, most people don't even consider you Asian at all.
Yeah, and that's part of what I talk about in that panel as well. So like this like panel idea that you're throwing out here right now is very, very similar to something that I've done, but it's also a really good idea. Just because like you get so much more like deep audience participation out of it, and you enjoy those panels so much more, specifically because you're starting to talk about something real with the audience rather than just shooting shit, right? Which is awesome.
So give me a second, guys. I have to text somebody, and my headache is kicking in again. What were your I know you talked about the programming. We've gone over the nightlife a little bit. It kind of like bleh. I'm sorry, game shows is not nightlife for me. Oh my god, you know what sounds like fun? Fucking bingo.
Fucking board games.
You know, and I give UshiCon shit every year for this one. And I'm sorry if the staff are listening. I love UshiCon. I like going there. I like doing panels. Don't laugh. It makes me sound like an asshole. You laughing makes it sound like I'm being sarcastic, damn it. I know. I just hate fucking pub trivia. Like, I tell them, like, let me do fan fiction during pub trivia. I don't give a fuck. My room was packed. We had a lot of people. Diamond wasn't there.
No, here's how I would tolerate pub trivia from UshiCon. Like, and this is as someone who loves UshiCon as well. Like, the staff will tell you I love them as well, right? This is how I would tolerate pub trivia if you did what Anime Tyler did and fed us. That's how I would tolerate it.
I was there for a bit. For like a few seconds.
But yeah, as far as the rest of the convention goes, like, I think it was fairly well laid out. Like I mentioned, it's a very similar vibe because it's in a Marriott to a Delta. What I was impressed with the most about this convention, they had a game room and a LARP area set up kind of like over there. So there's a lot of good noise insulation for those particular areas on the second floor. But on the first floor below that, they actually have a tunnel going to the event center in Tulsa, all the way to the dealers area and artist alley. Now, the first thing when we walk in, me and my wife noticed that, like, there's not a lot of people in here. There's a lot of room to walk. And then we started walking around, and we noticed that there was no scalpers there. There was no AI art there. Everyone seemed like they were in it for the actual love of the game, which, oh my God, is such a breath of fresh air with how many trade shows we get in Houston. Because every single vendor, you talk to them and they would talk to you like they're a fellow nerd, right? And that's an experience that I miss having in a vendor hall. And that's part of the reason I think they probably didn't have as many booths and spread it out as much as they did, is because they vetted every single person that bought a table, right? And said, okay, we trust you to sell good product at our convention, represent our convention well. And so that's something I will give them 100% about. It's like, I didn't see a single bit of AI art. I didn't see a single artist that wasn't accredited, wasn't on point. I didn't see a single vendor selling knockoff merch. I didn't see a single damn Funko Pop in the goddamn vendor hall, which was on.
What about 3D printing? Any at all? No.
No.
Oh
no.
my God.
It was literally just a clean vendors hall, no scalpers. Like, it literally felt like what conventions are supposed to be. And that made me so happy because I was like, this is what we should have. Not what we end up with in Texas.
Yeah.
Right?
What more of like quick rich scheme type stuff at this point.
Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of those junk booths that exist taking up space and buying tables at conventions. And like when I went to this convention, I was legitimately just floored with how good, right, the actual area is. They had a concession stand in the vendor area that wasn't jacking up prices. A cheeseburger combo.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask you that. How was the food over there?
Yeah, like legitimately, it was reasonably priced food in the vendor area, as well as they had a water station in the vendor area, right? And I was like, they've thought of everything to make sure you can shop in peace, right? And I'm like, if you're there to go to a convention to spend money, they've made this as easy as possible for shoppers, right? They have made this, if you are going to a convention to actually find cool anime shit, this was the type of convention you want to go to, right? And I was absolutely amazed with their vending area. And that's like the one thing that impressed me the most about this convention is just like they really managed who was a part of it much better than a lot of other Texas conventions that'll just throw in anybody because they're throwing money back at you.
Shit. I was gonna actually mention that you brought up the AI thing. We went to Space Con and they had like Dragon Ball Z jerseys, but it was the characters wearing like soccer jerseys, and they have like that AI art style that really
the
stereotypical.
uncanny valley type of thing. Yeah.
It was that chat GBT art style that's pretty fucking common, pretty generic. It looked, I don't know, I fucking hated it, the fact that they were selling jerseys with these AI created.
We got excited and then it's like,
No, I like as soon as I got excited, but then like a second later I was like, oh, that's AI. Like when I saw it for 1 second, I was happy, and then 1 second goes by.
Then you look at it and you're like,
it's
no.
off. Oh, damn it.
No, it's not off. It wasn't off. It was pretty well, but it's just you could tell it's AI. I was like, oh, damn it. I'm not gonna pay you people monies.
$50 for that shirt.
What do you say? What does Dan Housen say?
Human monies.
I'm not gonna pay you human monies for something that you said and made on your fucking phone. I hate fucking AI art. I fucking hate it. I don't know. I mean, we are, and this sounds hypocritical, but we are going to use AI to make movie posters for the TV or not TV panel, because they have to be the same style. Because if they're different styles, you're going to tell right away which one's fake and not real, which one's real and not real. So we have to use the AI app to make all the movie posters that we need in the same art format.
But there's a difference between being entertained by an AI and trying to make money off of an AI, right? Like there's a moral difference. Like,
no, I agree. But it's still like anytime you use AI for anything, it's like, oh, what the fuck.
I mean, like the only thing you're really doing when you use AI for something is using a crap ton of water. Like, besides that, it's just like,
okay. I'm using Chat GBT. I'm not using that much water. These companies that use AI for like customer service bots and like whatever Razor's making, that AI companion waifu thing that they're fucking selling. Have you seen that?
Oh my God.
No.
It was so cringe. Like it's so bad.
Oh, it's a device that's gonna sit on your desk, and it projects like a waifu character, a character of your. It's like a companion for you in the games. It's kind of an Alexa, but it's gonna have an avatar, and they projected it as a waifu.
What the hell?
So you can have your real, like, you know those stupid AI videos.
You have an animated waifu that's about 8 inches tall. That's like being all kawaii and shit.
Yeah, like you seen that video where the heavy set guys like computing, and they have the anime girl behind him. She's like cheering. She's like, "Shut up! Hey, be quiet! I'm modding this Discord." Yeah, you're like, "Oh yeah, I love it when you mod it. You're doing it." Yeah, I'm gonna mod so hard right now.
And this is the question I have for this company, right? The Razer company that made this. Why are we taking jobs away from VTubers? They're already unemployed. Like,
yes.
Like
AI girlfriends make dying alone sound cool.
Oh no.
I mean, you're right. You're like, I agree, Fart Knocker. You're right. Like,
if you die, your AI girlfriend's gonna die once you stop paying the electric bill and the internet bill. So what happens to your waifu?
What happened to your waifu?
Waifu. I like that kind of AI shit is what's really going too far. They're like, look, I get it. Companies are no, I don't get it actually. Fuck these companies. They're firing people, and like they're trying to do record profits. Like, hey, look at this, we made like $1 billion, but we fired 100,000 people to get that profit record.
I'm like, fuck your stock price, man.
Fuck you. Fuck your stock price. Fuck the guy that runs the company. Fuck his chair. Fuck his secretary. Not literally. Don't fuck her. Fuck your couch. Fuck your maid that you do fuck. And fuck the wife that you fucking cheat on. Fuck you. Fuck your couch. And I'm not talking about the vice president. No, he literally went and fucked that couch. Anyways, moving on. I can't believe. Oh, we're not getting political, but I did mention that. I can't. No, fuck these people. Fuck them. Fuck the AI shit. Fuck this. Fuck, dude. Like AI is like, and then some of the AI art looks like shit. Like they didn't even try. Like, why does this character have 6 fingers? I have a fucking headache. Yeah, my headache just flared up. Just
I mean, you
Fuck.
said fuck about like 30 times.
Just put it on a shirt. Fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck. And actually, that was one of my catchphrases. Fuck. I was just fuck. Yeah. Okay. So overall, let's get it out of the way because I got to call 17 after this because apparently something bad happened today.
Oh God.
When it rains, it pours. I mean, overall, you did mention that you would be willing to go back next year. What's your score on the scale? You know this. You know how our system works.
Yeah. This to me was a solid 8 out of 10 convention. Right.
Okay.
Everything about this was fairly on point. It's just me as a panelist personally was a little bit irked. Right. But everything about this convention felt like what a convention should be of this size, right? Even as small as the Oklahoma community is, it feels like there was a lot of togetherness. I ran into nothing but like friendly people pretty much all weekend. And like, you know, going to Oklahoma as a person of color, right? Sometimes you're a little bit,
you're like,
I'm not sure.
Depending on where you're going, you're like, ooh, I don't know.
I got treated so well at this convention, regardless of that. And like, I think this was really one of those conventions that is sort of like something that can be something really, really special. And we were talking to some people that had been going year after year. It's just a matter of more eyes need to be on it. You know, I think more eyes need to be on it. That way, like their entire like central team can improve. They can maybe get better panelist policies and get better programming in, but also like that allows them to promote bigger guests whenever they get a bigger budget and whatnot. And that way more eyes can be, you know, in middle America, because oftentimes we see the big conventions go for the big travel cities like New York, DC, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, LA. San Francisco, Seattle, right? If we can represent these like unique little areas that exist in America that really represents more of what America is. Like part of the reason why I was able to plan this trip in the first place was because I promised, right, the person that I was with that we would go to the Bluebell factory and we would go to the Dr. Pepper Museum and then we would go to the first Sonic that ever existed, right? Like that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this road trip out is because a lot of what this represents what the heart of America actually is, and not all of the corporate industrial shit that we get in the big markets, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really what makes this con special in the first place, and that's why I would give it the 8.
I think I forgot to ask you how did you feel about the space itself, like where the convention was and like the actual building itself?
It was pretty cool. It's just imagine like the West Chase Marriott instead of broken up into 2 sides, broken up into 2 floors instead, and a lot more modern.
Okay.
Right. Like you upscale that design to about 30 years in the future. Like, yeah, like the hotel and the venue itself was nice. It was very easy to lobby con if you wanted to lobby con, because there was a lot of space. There was a lot of sitting space, a lot of restrooms as well. I appreciated that. And then there was definitely ways in which like you could kind of duck around a corner and find something. Oh, that's kind of cool, right? But it's not something you're missing out on. If you want to find something, it was easy enough to find. I would have liked more signage, right? To be able to find things. But it's like if you ask a volunteer where something is, within 2 minutes they'll be able to point it out to you.
See, that's good because from the conventions that I've gone this year, I don't know what it is, but I've always felt like a little sign like here and there where a map would be helpful, like a physical map instead of just a digital schedule or a digital map.
Yeah.
And
especially using because this con uses the ECCHI app directly, and the ECCHI app doesn't work yet. Like it just straight does not work. So like the fact that they had volunteers that were in the know and that all of them seemed to be like, this is where this is where that is. And part of that is we talked to people that have been going year after year. This is their 3rd year at this venue, so I'm sure all the volunteers are familiar enough with it. Like I said, I would prefer more signage because weebs are antisocial and they don't like to talk to volunteers. But at the same time, it is very easy to figure out where things are as soon as you get a feel for what the con is actually like, which requires spending more than an hour at the con. But most people are supposed to do that anyways, right? If you're buying a badge. The badge price itself was a little bit absurd because it was
compared to like everything else that you've gone.
Compared to the scale of the convention, right? Like
okay.
the population that was at the convention, I feel like justifies maybe like a $70 to $80 badge, and that'd be fine, right? It was $100 badge, right?
Yeah.
So they are punching a little bit above their weight, but
Yeah,
I
that's a
am willing.
lot.
But I am willing to excuse that because it is a nonprofit. So if the venue fees for some reason are more expensive in Oklahoma, and that's part of it, or they just can't sell enough booths because they're actually vetting whoever is going in their vending area, then I can kind of forgive that higher badge price because I know everything that I'm getting, maybe aside from some programming, is going to be quality that the convention is actually condoning and providing me. So I think like the badge price is a little high for what it is. I will say that straight up, and that's part of why I don't give it a 9. But I think, generally speaking, they're providing you with something great. So,
besides all the, I guess like the signs and maybe like a few things here and there that you talked about, is there anything specifically that you feel like if they were to like maybe improve next time that would be beneficial to them?
Anything? I mean, optimizing space and having more things to do. Like it's literally it's literally, we saw the schedule, right? Like Goku pulled it up. It's just, if they can find more people willing to contribute to this con, whether that's a change in policy or bringing people in some like unique or creative way, I feel like that can make the con a lot better, because there was a lot of space, even with all of those rooms, that felt kind of unused, right? Like I was finding little rooms being like, they could have used that. They clearly booked the whole hotel, right? They could have used that. Like they could, like it was just, there were things that I was like, okay, clearly they just need people to contribute more to what the vibe of this convention is.
Right.
So that was my Tokyo OK experience. I just want to take a little bit more of a lead, since I know our host has a raging migraine right now. So
yep.
But yeah, I think it's now a good time, since we've been on for a little under 2 hours, to talk about some things that are going on in the future, you know? So, well, what's July looking like, guys?
Well, I know that for a fact that we are planning a few things. I know Delta is the big one coming up pretty soon. This will be our first Delta. I know we're also, like Mexico said, he's doing karaoke. I think he always does karaoke. I don't remember if this is the first year he's doing it or he's been doing it at Delta.
Delta, he's been doing it. I think since COVID, he was the karaoke runner for Delta. So
yeah, so that I'm excited to go and see how Delta is and experience everything that Delta has to offer. Because the only convention that I went before I joined the group was just Comic Palooza, and that's about it. And one trade show.
If Geeks 5 ever has a home convention, guys, I want you to understand that is Delta HCon. It is small. It is at home. It is a place you can have a conversation with someone and feel like you are part of a community. It is a place where you will get invited up to the room party and you can actually have fun, because Geeks 5 ever runs it itself, right? It is, if you are looking for a good con experience, right? And you have the opportunity to be in and around the Houston area during Delta weekend. Of most conventions in July, which is a very, very stacked month this year, we cannot recommend Delta enough. Not only because we know every single person that has put in blood, sweat, and tears in this convention, but also because it is the convention that really does feel like home to us. Not only for the Geeks 5 Ever crew, but also for someone like me that has grown up, been born and raised in Houston. This is what, Houston conventions are supposed to be, right? So if like you're interested in other conventions this month, whether that be Anime Expo, Comic-Con, DreamCon, fuck Matsuri,
there it is.
but if you're interested in other conventions, that is fine. But I would highly suggest making Delta a priority this month. I personally have 6 panels. I have 2 each day.
Let's go.
So they've really they've slowly worked me up. So I started off after COVID hosting 3 panels at Delta, then they gave me 4, then they gave me 5, and now they give me 6, right? So at this rate, when you meet Hiri in 2030, I'll be hosting like 11 panels like Jesse. So but I would necessarily say that like Delta is probably going to be the highlight of July for a lot of reasons. One, because none of us here is going to Matsuri.
No.
If you are going to Matsuri, we'll probably want to hear from you in the Discord, but we probably won't want to hear from you on this podcast because they don't deserve any press.
I'm back. Sorry.
You're good.
No worries. Yeah, definitely the month of July is looking to be like super packed.
Yeah, with the World Cup and then a few other events at the same time. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, there's too much going on this month, and it's crazy. And it's not like small, affordable cons either. These are cons you have to take out loans for and shit.
Yeah.
Put on pay like Google. I mean, not PayPal for payment plan or credit card or something.
Credit card or something.
DreamCon funding the payday loan business.
Yeah.
Like,
shit. Sorry. B-Coop. Delta is the main event this month. Everything else is filler. It's the main event for us, but I'm pretty sure everybody sees DreamCon as the main event.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's not on our bucket list this year, but hopefully
in the future we'll try to see if we can pull some strings or
I don't see it being next year either, because if we want to do the trip to Japan, there's no way we can afford
that too.
Japan, DreamCon, and Delta. We'll see though. We'll see how next year goes. Oh man, shit. Sorry. There's a lot going on right now. I had to step away for a bit to deal with some stuff.
But yeah,
I found a brownie though. Sorry, I didn't mean.
I found a brownie.
I found a Whataburger brownie. Zelda didn't
hopefully
eat.
the Whataburger brownie cuts the migraine. You know, that's all we're hoping.
Does. It's on and off right now. It still kicks in, but it's not as painful as it was earlier.
So now it's just a consistent going up and down, up and down.
Kinda.
So.
It just depends. Look, I can say I don't know if this is the most pain I've ever suffered in my life. I've broken my ribs. I've torn my ACL.
I feel like that's worse.
I don't know, dude. Like everyone tells you that the broken ribs is like the most painful thing that you will experience, because it hurts just to exist. Because if you sit down for too long, remember, gravity pushes everything down. So you're putting pressure on your ribs as you're sitting. So I can only, like, whenever I slept, I couldn't sleep on a bed. I had to sleep in a chair, and I can only do it for 2 hours at a time. So after 2 hours, I'd wake up because the pain was kicking in, and I have to get up and walk around for like 20 minutes just for it to kind of like to take pressure off my ribs. And whenever I sneezed, I would have to apply pressure to my ribs just so it wouldn't like hurt. Like it sucked. Oh shit. Yeah, but overall, sorry, I didn't even know what y'all were talking about before I got back.
We were talking about what's next for July, and we were talking about a little bit about Delta.
I know Suffering is Delta.
Yeah, Delta, 6 panels, almost as much as you, dude.
Oh shit, you actually have more than us.
Oh well, karaoke itself is like 3 panels.
Okay, yeah, karaoke's running till 4 a.m. Saturday, going into Sunday.
Party.
Yeah, if you include karaoke, it's like no one's gonna match G5E at Delta, right? But like, if you don't include karaoke, I suppose maybe I have more panels.
I mean, if we like, you have 6 panels, we have 5, but if we go by like the amount of time, because karaoke's 11 to 3 on Friday, and then 11 to 4 on Saturday. So that's like what, 9 hours?
Yeah.
That's 9 hours of content right there. And then with the other 3 panels, that's 12 hours.
Yeah.
Versus I'm probably, with my 6 panels, I'm probably close to about 7, maybe 7.5 hours. So
It's not a competition.
yeah, I know. Like, I'm saying it's just like, you're just like, oh shit, you have more than us this year. I'm like,
yeah, I know. That's why I was like,
I
oh, damn it, he got more. He got more than us. I wanted 20.
I'm like, between karaoke, between the official Delta room party, right, and all the other stuff that you do for Delta, like, there's no way I'm topping you, right? Like,
which is funny because the room party is Saturday, and I have 2 of my panels at the same time, karaoke and fan fiction. So I have to leave karaoke for an hour to go read smut. Terribly written smut. Dude, we read one where this girl wrote herself as an original character having a sexual relationship with Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh no.
It was terrible. It's like, okay, well, she's never allowed to go near a vending machine ever again.
there is an isekai about that, by the way.
Yep.
I hate isekais. I'm so sick of isekai anime. I like Red Ranger in Another World. That's it. That's the only one. I guess, does Digimon count?
We're Power Ranger nerds, right? So it's just funny when he summons a Megazord in Another World,
and random explosions happen.
Coming from?
And then random explosions happen at the background too, and they're like, "Where is these explosions coming from?"
I also like that they acknowledge like the Megazord is constantly leaving. Sorry, the browning's in my mouth. It leaves the other Rangers and like, where the fuck does it go? Who keeps summoning it? Where's it going? Did it go out for like Whataburger and not come back?
No, but that's why in every single season of Power Rangers, they always have the starting Megazord and then the Megazord that they upgrade to. So it's just like they're using the upgraded Megazord, like, which is like.
And then every time
there's so much good lore in Red Ranger from Another World. Like,
there's a lot.
Every time they transform, they have like explosion and smoke, colored smoke in the background.
Yes, and the power of the morphing grid, right? Hasbro, right? The power of the morphing grid, right, is on the power of bonds, right? We love the power of bonds and actually friendship. Being scalable.
I mean, that makes sense to me. Like, I mean, honestly, it's better than Dino
Thunder?
No, Dino Fury, where their powers come from fucking statues. And then they lose their powers when they destroy the
like, we can have an entire podcast episode on how awful the Hasbro era Power Rangers has been. Okay, like,
Jesus.
Yeah, we can have a whole episode on how bad Power Rangers post Disney era was.
Neo Saban had some highlights. A lot of people like Samurai. A lot of people like Dino Charge, right? So, like,
Dino Charge, fine. You get okay. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Neo Saban, Samurai. Don't get me started on Mega Force and Super Mega Force.
And then people also hate
on how many Gen Z like people that I've talked to that will stand by Samurai, right? And I was like, there's some cool parts of Samurai, just takes way too long to get to, right?
Wasn't there one that everybody
and then they do
the
exact opposite thing where they cut out. They do the exact opposite thing in Megaforce, where they cut out all of the good stuff in Megaforce, and it's just nothing but trash. Like, oh my god! But
what were we gonna ask, Diamond?
I said, wasn't there another one in between where it was like Beast something? I'm trying to remember what it was.
Beast Morphers.
Beast Morphers, and then Super Beast. I hated that too. Adding Super
to everything.
So that was Neo Saban. Because Neo Saban after Dino Charge was Ninja Steel, right? And they had Super Ninja Steel after that, and then it was Hasbro, which was Beast Morphers, right?
Yeah,
which
so
was a Ghostbusters adaptation, but then they were literally just like, we don't know where to take this story, so we're gonna take the dinosaur season crossover, put it at the end, and randomly put Austin St. John in this. It's like, what? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was really weird. That should have came. That just no, it didn't work because the story just didn't. I don't know, man. I just hated it. It didn't make. Ninja Steel did a better job with theirs.
Yeah, Ninja Steel did a better job because it was still Neo Saban at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And then to me, it was just like, if you're going to do a line like that, at least make it make sense, like they did with Cosmic Fury, where there's a reason why Billy's been involved the entire season, the entire 3 seasons, right? Like, they did not have any context to why all of the dinosaur rangers show up for this crossover, and Austin St. John randomly would be like, "We're fighting Goldar now? Why are we fighting Goldar?"
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they were like, okay, we need someone that's fought Goldar Maximus before, and then he just comes out of nowhere.
No, but like literally on the episode where they're deciding who to spawn, like all the villains that they could spawn, it's like they pass over so many tougher villains than freaking Goldar, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here going, like, this is clearly fan service, where you're taking a Mighty Morphin era minor villain and saying, oh, that's more threatening than the main boss from this season. Be like, I remember that season. That's not true.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, well, Lord Zed came back, and then he was more threatening than the season's actual boss.
Yep. Well, yeah, that was Cosmic Fury. So
no, my bad, that was Cosmic Fury. Where Zed comes back, and then he's all like, he kicks the crap out of Cosmic Fury's like actual boss. He's like, I'm the boss now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be like, move aside, bitch, and that's when Billy is just like, all right, I need a morph again.
Yeah. Which was random because they're fighting on a planet with. They didn't even like explain why they're on the planet, why Lord Zed's back. Like, oh, they did explain why he got unsealed, but they didn't explain why Billy was just on a random planet fighting with henchmen.
I mean, like, don't you run Cranston Tech right now? Like, that's literally in canon. Like...
It just the whole ending just made no sense because it's supposed to be after Once and Always, but it kind of leads up to Once and Always.
Yeah. Like, the reason why Once and Always might happen is from the end of it, right? Mm-hmm. But they said Once and Always was before Cosmic Fury, but after Dino Fury. And I was just like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now. Like,
I think that was the initial plan, but whoever wrote Once and Always didn't take Cosmic Fury's storyline into account. Yeah. So because like, Once and Always was great.
The reason why I will always be mad at Cosmic Fury is because the fact that because Cosmic Fury exists, that means Q Ranger can never be adapted, like, ever, right? And Q Ranger was my favorite season of Super Sentai. So
is that where the Zords came from?
Yep, that is where the Zords came from.
Oh wow. Okay, yep. They pulled season 2 of Power Rangers where.
Yep. There's no Die Ranger. There's no Q Ranger.
No, that's not true. Die Ranger does exist within the Power Rangers lore as Squadron Ranger.
Yep, it does. It does this as squadron mode in Megaforce and then throughout the canon. But right, have we ever seen this season?
No, not as a show.
No.
Like 5-Man exists in the comics, and they're the Psycho Rangers.
Yep.
So that's how the Psychos exist. Power Rangers lore, comic book wise.
The Psycho Green storyline, guys, like, you need to read that because that shows everything as to why Mighty Morphin actually makes sense.
It also shows as to why Zordon chose teenagers, because he could easily manipulate them more than he could full-grown adults, because the adults that he had before the team that we know actually questioned him, like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? You sent us to die. What's wrong with you? And like, so I was like, I don't need this shit.
Yeah.
If I wanted to hear this nagging,
humans,
like, yeah, if I wanted to hear this kind of nagging, I would have gotten married. Out of here. Well, okay, I was thinking that since Delta's right around the corner and we're supposed to do an interview with Sarah, who's the owner and con chair of Delta HCon, we're going to do a 1-hour interview with her, and it's going to be pre-recorded, so it's not going to be live. So when that one goes up, we'll let everybody know. I was thinking that we can get some of the panelists on the show.
Yeah.
And talk about Delta.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I've talked to Sarah before, and then she was just going to be like, all right, what do you need this year, Harry? Like,
yeah. Every time I like message Sarah, I feel like I'm bugging her because I always have like, hey, can we
do this? Can we do that?
Normally, this is the first year where I'm happy with the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, there's one or two things like, hey, like 1 year they gave us Friday, but they didn't give us Saturday, or they gave us Saturday, they didn't give us Friday. And I was like, hey, I would, is it possible to also do this other day? I'm so down. Whatever you have available, I'll take that. But I would prefer to do it both days because it adds a little bit more to the con. Because one of the complaints I have with UshiCon is the karaoke's only on Friday and it's not on Saturday. And I wouldn't mind doing karaoke on Saturday on a smaller scale on a Saturday at UshiCon because I know they use the main events room for pub trivia, but not everyone likes
pub trivia.
Well, I was gonna say game shows because they had a lot this year, and I really do not enjoy game shows at all. And that's not their fault. That's because a lot of panelists canceled and it's like we talked about, dude. That's the norm now. Like people are like, "Oh, I'm a panelist. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I do this game show, that game show." I'm like, really? More fucking game shows? They're a dime a dozen now.
I also want to give credit to Sarah here because like I was also satisfied with the scheduling. Because the only early morning panel I requested was my card games panel. She gave me that on Saturday morning. And then on top of that, I am no longer the panelist that always has the Sunday at 9:30 a.m. panel, right? Like, she actually just, like, left that off, so all of my griping probably paid off. Like,
we don't have a Sunday panel either this year.
I have 2 panels on Sunday. I have one at 12 and one at 2, but that's absolutely perfect, right? It would be like, if I'm going to have a panel on Sunday, that's exactly when I want it on Sunday, right? I don't want it at 9:30 a.m. doing a 13-plus panel. I want an all-ages panel that's really easy to get through. Like, and she's letting me debut a panel at noon on Sunday, and then she's letting me do a panel I've done twice right after that. So, like, it makes perfect sense, right? And I'm like, I think scheduling just came through a lot better this year.
You think she's being a little bit more... I feel like she's being... I've never had anything bad to say about Sarah. I'm not about to say anything bad about her yet. Either. Not yet. I'm sorry. Sorry, my brain's not working right now. I feel like Sarah is. I feel like there's a lot more effort in like the panels so far that I've heard that are approved for Delta. Based on what I've heard, are much better than last year. I feel like there's more emphasis on this year, considering the fact that how the market is this year, how it's really rough and. Compared to last year, Delta, they had a lower. I mean, based on what I saw, remember, I spend most of my time in the hotel room because I have a group to run. Because our hotel room is a suite with 2 other rooms connected to it, and we offer like a safe haven where people can go and just hang out. We have an open door where people walk in and out at all hours of the day. We have 3 bathrooms, so people are allowed to come and shower. Leave their stuff. We'll guard your stuff. It's all ages until the party, which is at 8 o'clock. After that, it's 18 plus, 21 to drink, ID required. I feel like an advertisement. ID at the door.
ID at the door. We will check IDs,
and we're going to give out wristbands, but we're going to check the wristbands for tampering. If we see that you tried to cut it or take it off or anything like that, and we're going to put it on you. We're going to put the wristband on you, so you can't put it all loose, thinking you're going to slide it off and hand it to a friend. And that's the only way you're allowed to touch the alcohol, even go near the alcohol. You can't even sniff the alcohol. I better not even see you with rubbing alcohol. You got a wound, you go to the hospital. No, yeah, Delta. I feel like Delta is going to be a lot better this year than last year. I feel like I don't know. I need to see the schedule. We are doing a game show, but that's because we're hosting it with Geek Cred. I don't know if Suffering, if you want to join us, but it's
collaboration.
Morning, so I think it's a I don't know if you are able to join us Friday to help run it. If you want to just hang out.
What time is that panel?
It's at 10, I think.
10 p.m.
But I think you work, right? Yeah. No. AM.
10 a.m. on Saturday?
No. Friday.
No, Friday.
Let me double check to be sure.
I mean, it's the middle of the summer, so I don't have work on Friday per se. Like,
let me double check it real quick. My head's kind of flaring.
It's like 10 a.m. on Friday. Like
it's 10 a.m. to 10:55 a.m. Friday morning.
Friday morning. Wow. Okay. I mean, sure. Why not? Like,
It's called Tubi or not Tubi.
To be.
Tubi, the app Tubi. Yeah, I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, Pokemon to get approved. So 1, 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. Yeah, 5 panels. Yeah, 30 years of Pokemon to get approved. And that's the one I thought for sure would have gotten approved because it is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon.
I mean, like,
How many times have you seen a panel for Pokemon on Delta?
A lot every year, actually.
yeah,
That's probably why.
Yeah. I'd be like, and the bigger thing is how many times I've been to a convention and I've walked into a Pokemon panel and it's been bad. Like more often than not. Like,
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the history and lore of Pokemon, not who I would date
Not
or
who
which
I would
Pokemon that I
skip.
have a fetish for.
I mean, like, I get that, right? But like, given the style of panel content that you do, and then programming teams looking at it being like, Goku doing this panel?
No.
Yeah, no. Like,
I mean, Colossal approved it.
but Colossal is just like, oh, we will allow him to be him. Like,
That's fair. No, but I'm still me during the Pokemon panel. Look, Pokemon, the only universe where you can go and choose a pet and then go out and fight other people's pets for money. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I know a cockfight when I see one. Yeah, it's Pokemon cockfighting for kids. Somebody quote.
you
that
have
in
not
the
heard that
Discord.
phrase from Goku. You need to go to more panels.
Yes, go to more Goku. I can tell you about how Pokemon is cockfighting for kids. I can tell you about how I hate the French. Not the French. I'm sorry.
Hate
Not
the
the French. I hate France. I hate fucking France. The people are fine. I hate fucking France. Fuck France. The fucking country can the fucking croissant. I don't speak croissant, bitch. I don't speak escargot. What is
Meanwhile,
their
I will
national
tell you
flag?
how Digimon was the first isekai.
No, I have to disagree with you. Okay, first anime isekai. Yes, I agree. Maybe because Tron technically is an isekai, but that's not anime. And what about that kid that ends up in King Arthur? I don't know. I don't know shit about isekai.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Fate universe. Digimon was way before the Fate universe.
We could talk. Well, 17 did a Log Horizon versus Sword Art Online panel, and the panel ended up just becoming a panel where everybody trashed Sword Art Online. Nobody even brought up Log Horizon.
Well, that's the general vibe of what is the argument behind Log Horizon and Sword Art Online. It's not whether or not Log Horizon is good or bad because it's very neutral. It's a very good watch, a very good show, but it's like a very neutral show. You don't have a strong opinion about it one way or another. It's about how bad is Sal? Like, can you defend Sal? Like,
Yeah, that's fair. I hate fucking Sword Art Online. I probably hate it more than I hate France.
you know what? The only redeeming part of Sword Art Online to me is if you're keeping up with the progressive manga, right? That actually like gives the story some depth that it should have needed in the first place. And the Ordinal Scale movie. I think the Ordinal Scale movie is actually really good. But
we are going to figure out when we're going to do the panelist panel. I mean, not the panelist panel, the panelist episode.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know any other panelists besides you, me, Chad,
Omega?
Who's that?
You don't talk to Omega? Okay.
Maybe I
Then
do, and I just
there's-
don't know them as Omega.
There's EAS.
I think you have to send him their legal name.
Yeah.
No, we don't go by legal names in this group. We don't go by the government names. We don't do that here. That's not we don't do that here.
Okay, Geek Cred.
Geek Cred's not a panelist this year though.
Uh,
Geek Cred is helping me with my one panel because we came up with it together after I stole one of his game show panels. But we're not going to do it. What we're going to do this year is we're going to have a Google document that's going to have question. It's just going to say question 1, A, B, C, or D. It's not going to have the actual question, so you can't just go in there and answer them ahead of time, and then and it's going to score you, because I know you can actually score people with a Google form if you do it in a test form. Because I did it all the time for work. We're going to use that for the game show, so people don't have to like scream out answers. Anyone can play. Nobody has to scream out answers, and nobody has to write it on a whiteboard that you can't see from 10 feet away.
So you're telling me we're using the Google Docky? Like,
Yeah.
That's what we use for karaoke for sign up. It streamlines everything because I can read your chickens, not you per se, but everyone else's chicken scratch on when they sign up for karaoke. Nah, we heard the fridge open.
Exposed.
No,
it's
we heard
okay.
it open.
Eventually, I will be in my own room, and this will not be an issue anymore.
No, it's fine. It's funny. We think it's funny. We were actually waiting on your wife to at some point grab a snack.
It reminds me every single time.
It happens every episode, so it's like it's a gag at this point.
It's
you should just like not even need a snack. She just does it just to like fuck with you.
It's like when the Undertaker is coming out and they turn off all the lights, but you turn off your camera.
She's our Undertaker now. Dong. Like no, like at this point, like if you're still in there like for a while, you should just have her do it just for shits and giggles, just to fuck with you.
Honestly, if I ever get her to collab on one of my panels, I might.
Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead and plug in your social media. You gave the con an 8 out of 10. I would normally do the scoreboard on the thing, but I have a headache.
No one else went.
No one else.
No one else went too.
Nobody else is talking about it either. So 8 out of 10 is what they get. Courtesy of suffering.
I mean, I guess we're talking about ECCHI EXPO potentially coming back later.
Oh yeah. So I guess we can talk more about it on Wednesday. But yeah, they filed for bankruptcy.
That I'm aware, yeah. But
it was
what about coming back?
It was approved to get financial assistance. Or
okay.
No, it was.
I don't know.
I saw the
that's interesting. That's just interesting to me.
Well, they're $1 million in debt. What'd you expect?
Yeah.
So there is murmurings of it coming back, finding a financial backer. Now, do I want it to come back? No. Will we ever? We don't know who the backer is. All I know is that they're trying to find like somebody to finance it or cover, or an investor, or like a loan. They might hit you up. Hey, Suffer, you got like got $200K? Loan us. Let me break my piggy bank.
The more relevant fact, as you mentioned, the back room is don't watch that shitty ass movie. The movie was horrible.
Play the games more than the movie.
Yeah, I heard the movie was great. Then again, I like Supergirl, and a lot of people.
The movie was brain rotted to all hell, dude.
From what I heard, spoiler, if you haven't seen it at this point, I don't care. They took too long to explain the whole premise of the back rooms.
Isn't it just an alternate universe? Like a dimensional thing?
Kind of.
I don't think that was very clear.
Yeah, well,
that's what it's supposed to be, is what I heard. I don't know if they explained it in the movie.
Question.
Why don't you go watch Toy Story instead?
If you're gonna watch the back rooms, yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. If you're gonna watch the back room, you're gonna watch Obsession, watch a real movie, watch Toy Story.
Watch Toy Story 5. We needed this movie. This movie.
Toy Story 5. Watch Mortal Kombat 2, which was actually pretty good.
This Toy Story is
we got
generations.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, I'll bring it with me to the con just so you can see it, but we got the clapper. I know that sounds terrible, but it's the little scene so-and-so and cut actions little thing that does the clapping sound. It says when you say action, it's a popcorn bucket. It was on sale for $20 at the theater.
Well, the
Sonic got it for me.
The clapper is a lamp that you clap and it'll turn.
Yeah, they gave you the clapper. Anyways, go ahead and plug in your social media, sir, so we can get out of here because I got to call 17.
All right. My name is Hideyaji Suffering. I do a crap ton of panels, apparently more in quantity but not in time than Goku at Delta.
Hey, whoa, hey. We talking shit just because I got a headache.
You can follow me on Instagram at Hideyaju_suffering, just like it's spelled on the screen. I would tell the general audience to add me on Discord, but probably there's too many weirdos out there. So just join the Geeks 5 Ever Discord and talk to me there instead. That's a lot better. Also, if you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe on this video because, Mexico has a headache right now, so I'm going to do it for him.
Yeah. Good promotion. All right. You can also follow me at Diamond Assassin on YouTube. You can also follow me at TikTok at voltage_echo.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm looking at the fucking Geeks 5 Ever quotes channel. Oh, God. Anyways, yeah, you can follow his link trees in the description below. I mean, Suffering's on here so much. I'm just going to ask. Do you have a link tree?
No, I don't. I just have the Instagram.
You really need one because we have a little postcard that says follow us on social media, and it has a QR code. They go straight to our link tree, and it has all of our stuff on it.
All right, sounds good. I need to make a link tree before the end of July.
You need to make it before Delta and just have it up at your panel. Like, hey, if you want to follow me, scan the QR code, and it takes you directly to my link.
My ADHD ass making something in 2 weeks. Let's see if that happens.
You got 2.5 weeks. It's plenty of time. It's like you remind me of that meme that's like, hey, we should make a group for procrastinators. We'll do it tomorrow. All right, you can follow us if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. It tells us that most of the people that are watching this show aren't subscribed to the channel, which is bullshit because that's not true. I made up that statistic. But you know what? If you haven't already, why don't you make a second YouTube account and subscribe to this channel again? And while you're at it, if you're subscribing to the channel, make sure you're ringling the dingling button so you're notified twice when we go live every Monday and supposedly every Wednesday, but we haven't done that for like a month. I know we keep saying, yeah, we're going to go live this Wednesday. We're going to go live this Wednesday. But like, Diamond, you want to go live? It's like, nah, I'm tired. Oh, fuck. Diamond's either tired or I'm tired or we forgot or we're doing other shit. Life.
Hey, you want to go hang out? Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Hey, you want to do the podcast now? You want to go to the movies instead? Yeah, let's go.
If you miss Wednesdays, join the Discord and join Tea Time Tuesdays.
We don't do Tea Time Tuesdays anymore.
Tea Time's done.
Well, y'all are always in the Discord chat anyways. It's fine.
Yeah, join our own chat. Yeah, because that's why we got rid of it, because we're always in there.
Yeah.
Why save the tea for Tuesday when you just have tea every day? And like lately, news has been slow because cons are like more lip tight because they didn't think a YouTube channel was going to go and start reporting on them like a wrestling. Because there's a lot of YouTube channels that do that about professional wrestling. So we are doing that for conventions. It's like, who told them that I don't recycle? What the fuck?
who told them about the feet juice?
Who exposed my secrets?
Yeah. So yeah, it's we have tea every day, every night. And you can go on there and listen to Diamond bitch about how I don't like multiplayer games or online service games or how Destiny is the shit.
Or just watch me freak out. Just lose my
shit. Yeah, he loses his shit every day. It's like fucking on a scale of 1 to Diamond. Oh shit, my headache. It's whenever I talk too much or too fast, it starts flaring. All right, ring-a-ling the dingling button. Be notified every time we go live. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Join the Discord. Join the Discord and be part of a community. Be part of the Geeks 5 Ever community where we won't judge you, but we will make fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really make fun of anybody. We mostly make fun of like 3 people.
So if your name is not Deacon Rap.
No, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Anyways, I was thinking more like Zarek. He watches the show. You watch the show, right, Zarek? I'll throw shit at your Godzilla 11 ass. As a matter of fact, you need some goddamn sun with how shady you've been lately, bitch.
Oh, no.
All right. Anyways, all right. That's enough. My headache is flaring. We're going to go ahead and go. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Suffering. We'll see Suffering on the show again for the pre-show to Delta and then the post-Delta show. All right, later. Bye.
Later. What a fucking show.